Through the night, Latin American Pro League Season 9, Week 9 continues with FaZe against paiN. We go to Border. We're going to watch some operator bans to start things off and hopefully dictate how this match will play out. Maybe there is a specific ban that paiN have masterminded to completely demolish FaZe, and the first thing they're going to do is ban out a buck. That's actually not that uncommon on Border for Latin America. You're watching the caster cam again, aren't you?
More DACA.
More DACA. Well, a Nomad is also going to be taken away.
Not surprised.
The disposal of the attackers on Border, yeah. Common rotations, couple of staircases. You know the drill for retakes and any kind of flanking routes. The defenders, though, will be Maestro banned by FaZe. How peculiar.
Which actually is the same ban that they had last playday against NIP.
And we also talked about how that was peculiar.
Yeah, which if you're wondering why that is peculiar, it's because usually it's this operator banned, Echo.
And then a Mira.
Yeah, and not a Maestro. And Mira actually slips through the ban
quite a bit, actually. Yeah.
Quite a bit in Latin America compared to other regions.
Yep.
Sometimes you'll never see a Valkyrie being banned. This is LATAM, but you know.
Very true.
Yeah, very true. But what you'll see banned quite a bit, you know, obviously is Echo. He's pretty much a consistent ban for a lot of teams. Mira happens very often as well, not as much as others. Liquid Red Devils actually on week 6 had a Valkyrie ban, which is pretty interesting. It's one of the few ones that the operator has had. Otherwise, you'll see a consistent like Echo, Echo Mira, or sometimes a Maestro there. There's been Jaegers and Valkyries. Actually, you know, we said probably not Valkyrie, but it actually happens more than you'd expect it. But yeah, the consistent one is the Echo and the Mira. You'll see stuff every now and then. But that aside, numbers aside, we have something live happening in front of us. And paiN and Gaming are going to start off on the defense. They're going to run FK1 here on the dock. In general, expecting some sort of anti-camera play because the Valkyrie is so prevalent on here. You actually see two of those, Cameraman and Ion, with an IQ and a Twitch. Again, this Latin America, they run Twitch as like their number 9/10 operator in the region, unlike pretty much every other region.
Well, it's also going to come into play because the Mira has slipped through.
Very true.
Border, Mira setups, they're the backbone of how Border really came into the competitive fold. So you're going to want a Twitch to try and disable those. And especially with the buck being banned out, that means you have one less opportunity to use verticality and destruction to dispatch of those mirrors. Twitch drone just kind of makes your life a lot easier. So the attack for FaZe will start things off. They'll be on the attacking side to begin, and honestly, that's a dangerous proposition for paiN. I actually don't have any numbers to back this up, but I feel like when the lower ranked team starts on the defense, it turns into a steamroll quite quick. But like I said, I have no evidence to back that up.
Yeah. Spencer! Save us! Our cries not being answered. We'll continue on. And Mav playing the Jackal. Jackal has seen a meteoric rise in popularity. And I want to say I predicted it.
Oh, did you now?
Yes, because everybody was like, oh, it's that 8-meter range buff he's going to get. That's the thing that's going to really propel him. No, I think it was just the catalyst that kind of pushed teams to try him out a bit more and then realize how flexible he is as an op. Oh,
the hell?
Oh, no. Cameraman gets a kill, and Yuna's going for the diffuser plant. What? What do you do? What's going on? 3v2. And they get the plant. 2v2 now. C4 thrown out, but will not connect with anyone. Volts and Spawns are in. Welcome to Brazil. Spawns will have to move up and deal with them on the opposite end of the wall, but he really has no clue how to deal with this. And the wall having already been opened up by Astro. If only he had that Mira window to play with, he will down and take out the Mira, and then Yuna for the last one onto Revolts. Look, can we just slow this down?
So the Armory wall was left soft. And the CCTV mirror, I imagine, was supposed to be the distraction. And the counterpoint to, well, what if they just all rush Armory Wall? Well, we have a CCTV hold. Yeah, FaZe didn't care. They just kind of rushed and smothered the site in half a second, and that's an interesting setup for paiN, especially considering there was no pressure towards the Armory Wall. You saw 3 defenders all stacked in either Archives or Fountain. You have the mirror and CCTV to watch all of that. Like, where's the directionality of your focus there? It seems like they just got distracted.
They just played in Archives. You're like,
yeah.
Hey, did you forget there's literally another half of the site? The more common position. And they had so many soft walls, as you mentioned. Where's your reinforcements? What are you doing?
I mean, like, they invest heavily into the CCTV hold, and then they don't trust the CCTV hold is my real gripe with that round. Because you don't need to stack that many people in Fountain or Archives if you have a mirror and CCTV with kill holes in the back Fountain to look over there. That's
literally
kind of
the entire point. Yeah.
kind of the point of the thing, but hey, I'm sure paiN will learn from their mistakes there. That's a quick one to get off to the races here for FaZe as well. FK1's going to drop all the way down into waiting room, chasing a drone. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a roaming dock downstairs.
Why not?
Sheesh.
So I was asking about a Brazilian 4th of July, and Mr. Guilherme Toledo messaged me, and he's like, here in Brazil, our equivalent to 4th of July is September 7th, which is our Independence Day. We don't usually celebrate with fireworks, but parades and military marching bands. So today you learned.
Today I learned.
There you go.
I had no idea.
That's the beauty of it. We get to learn new stuff every single time we're on Pro. Especially not just about the game itself and the pro players, but also about the cultures of all the people that are in and around Pro League and competitive Rainbow Six. But FK1, holding on, actually using the mirror window. God forbid it just stays there. Oh, ooh, not sniped. There you go. Ion unable to take down the mirror window. Will have to deal with it himself, and FK1 has GCR to support him. Oh, but the grenade from Mav takes down GCR. Yeah, that's a grenade you should have worried about.
You always hate to see a Jaeger being taken care of by a frag grenade coming in. That's also a typical spot to have an ADS. Not sure if they invested deployment of those ADSs elsewhere, just taking priority on opposite sides, but they've left the Armory Wall soft again, and there goes part of your CCTV hold. It's all down to FK1 now, and they still have the mirror intact, thank the Lord, but Gabrielos will now retreat, and now they've got some kill holes in the side here with Gabrielos ready to stall this out. Ion, though, will remove FK1 from CC. And once again, paiN find themselves in a massive man disadvantage now as Revolts will meet his grave as well. Astro sending him 6 feet under. And now it's just Gabrielos and Spawn stacked on one another. One inside the small office, one at metal half wall. Not a lot left to be done to contest the ingress from FaZe coming through this Armory Wall. It's a completely soft one. A frag grenade will bring out and do a little bit of damage to the both of them. Nitro Cell being ripped, put back in the pocket, now being launched out rather prematurely as it won't connect. The flashbangs come raining in. There's a flank from Ion in the back, whipping out a Toxic Baby. Still gets the kill, Gabrielos will, but Ion and Cameraman will wrap it all up, and FaZe with 2 quick rounds establish a massive advantage over this quite peculiar setup coming from paiN.
Flint.
Yeah, bud.
Do you know the definition of insanity? Honestly, in this case, it's not just repeating the same thing over and over again. It's not utilizing what you're actually preparing to full potential. And, you know, jokes aside, it is fairly important for you to stick to the plan. And once you lose out on the utility that you've already prepared around CCTV, the mirror window, the reinforcements, the operators, you're like, if you're going to do it and play in CCTV, might as well invest heavily in it, because the minimum you'll get is a ton of wasted time. And at this point, anything you can get will help you. Time, not on your side. Frags, not on your side. You're being picked off one by one like flies. It's not a great position to be in. First of all, I like the fact that paiN changed the site. They play downstairs in workshop and in ventilation, something that is sorely needed, that variety. But now, how do they set up on the top floor? Are they going to run the standard Armory style of reinforcements? Are they going to play that solo with Archives and Fountain, also run CCTV to help it out? There's a lot of ways to kind of spread out and leave a couple players downstairs. A thing, though, that they're doing is bringing Cut. He's definitely going to be a help to secure those hatches, but more often than not...
Well, that's awkward. The big thing for me with the CCTV hold is it's clearly a read to try and stall out a heavy office push. And I don't know what kind of VOD review paiN have done looking at FaZe specifically on Border, if this was intended, if paiN already knew they were going to try and take him to Border before heading into bans, if maybe they had a different map in mind and they're maybe reading off of old intel. But that CCTV hold with the Armory wall soft, that's a clear look to try and stop a massive chokehold into offices and Fountain, and yet FaZe have zero interest in doing any office side takes. They're continuing to contest the Armory wall, and there goes one of your Electro Claws.
Why are you even Why are you there?
Rainbow6, why are you there? Well, that's FK1 gone. There goes your ability to stall out the wall being opened up. So we're back to square one, just an objective on a different location, and two lining up. Unit will grab one. He cuts them both down. Revolts and GCR will fall, and it seems like it's another round volleying against paiN. Spawns will bring one back in vain, but it's still a 2v4 with almost 2 minutes left on the clock.
They have the Defu! It's that bad! Even the game is like, what is going on? I don't know what to say. Honestly, I am baffled at this sort of thing. Every single round, early on, it just found it. Hey, 3 players are already dead. What happened? God knows what happened. Spawn's gonna get spotted as well and fired upon from above, but they know where he is. Now the site's completely open. The Pulse solo, great. No Nitro Cell, no nothing. He'll fire in, he'll take one. That's Cameraman. You barely have any HP. Spawns, he's probably gonna go back to the spawn screen at this point. And there you go. Mav just dispatching him. paiN again sent back to the drawing board. No, they try to play the roam on the top floor. They kind of just started running around and realized they couldn't do anything because they lost the Cotton because he tried to fight through the wall, which I'm like, why are you doing that? The Electro Claw that he set was super basic. You know the Twitch is going to come in. They've been bringing the Twitch. And then he puts the Electro Claw literally in the middle of the wall. Do you know that this works in AoE? I'm sorry to be very harsh about this, but I think the criticism is well pointed and in correct positions because this is not strategy not working out or you being outplayed by FaZe. This is you not even handling the basics correctly. And that's not something that I think we can put aside.
No. When it comes down to strategy, though, I think the preparation for paiN is outdated, at the very least, because it honestly looks like everything paiN are doing have a direct intention. They're not playing throughout the whole... They're not playing the setup properly either, which is a little concerning, but I find it hard to believe paiN would invest this much setup and this much preparation into something if they didn't see a hole or a flaw or a repetition in FaZe's play on a different Border game, or maybe their Border game entirety. I haven't seen this from FaZe with this hard, heavy office push that apparently paiN are reading into, but maybe they've got some VOD that maybe it was from the DreamHack Rio qualifiers, the most recent ones that I have not seen. Maybe it's from BR6. Maybe paiN is reading into some info that I just have not seen yet, but the stacking nonetheless, it's just, it seems like they're trying to repeat the same thing on old intel, and their preparation is what is lacking against FaZe right now.
Well, FaZe in BR6, since you mentioned that, yeah. They played Liquid 11 days ago. It was 7-5 on Consulate and a tie on Clubhouse. Now, if you don't know the BR6 scoreline, it's a best of 2, and if you tie a game, it's 0 points. If you win a game, it's 1 point. So that's how it ends up working, by the way. You win 2 maps, you get 2 points. It's different, even though in the game itself, it runs the same way as we have in Pro League, of course, in the same settings. But otherwise, I mean, you're looking at LATAM Pro League, right? And, you know, FaZe last week, they had a good game against NIP. They played Clubhouse, but it's just... Let me check. When is actually the last time they played Border? They played against Immortals. And the setups, the bans, everything was completely different. FaZe banned Dokkaebi and Mira, Immortals banned Ying and Bandit. And that's not, I don't think that's something you can really rely on when it comes to your setups and playing everything around it. Because paiN, I think they're playing a much older style of play without actually putting in the utility that is required to hold on from CCTV.
My biggest thing is they're now continuing to fight over CCTV as if it's the objective. And I understand that CCTV is a hard linchpin in an objective, but now it looks like GCR is going to get overhealed in the back. A frag grenade from Mav will just miss him behind. GCR will drop one onto Ion. Cameraman with the trade. GCR rips right up and takes down Cameraman, but there goes Yuna robbing spawns of his life. Now down to a 3v3, and GCR still in the hallway. Oh, a bad peek there from Gabrielos as he'll walk away with 1 HP. Astra lighting him up. GCR on a full retreat. They've surrendered CCTV, but you've lost both your ACOGs and the ability to heal your most important operator, Gabrielos, back from the grave.
That's not a great position to be in. And it's, again, you know, losing these impact operators early on with FK1. Oh, barely surviving there at the end of it, but still, GCR, Revolt's basically the last two on their feet. There's still a lot of utility for Gabrielos. That's something that you can look into and be like, well, if you can keep him alive, it's definitely something that we can use. There's 2 Rook plates that have not been picked up. I'm sorry, but we'll talk about that after this round is done. GCR up close will find the kill, and he'll down 1, eliminate Mav. Great position to be in here as Astra will come in with 10 seconds left. Revolt has to go in. Nitro Cell in hand. 1 is already down and taken away. Astra removes him. But it's Yuna and Astra solo and HP. Revolt will come in and miss all the shots. He'll fire 1. Go in for the second, but no, the Zofia is ready. Not fast enough. The defense will take the round. Okay. As I said with Blue, when I casted the one of the 2 games that I did a group stage at Invite, and I really want to hear your opinion on this one.
Sure.
Usually we're people that kind of have a level-headed opinion when it comes to balancing and additions into the game, right?
Sure.
However, I propose this.
Okay.
Especially in professional play, but overall it will apply.
Okay.
And I wanna credit this to Killian Experience, one of my favorite Swedish YouTubers, better than Bikini. They do completely different things though. Basically, the suggestion is, Rook puts down his bag of plates, right? A literal nuclear siren starts blaring until everybody on the team picks up a plate. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Why are you bringing him if 2 of your players aren't even going to use it? Oh, hey, yeah, ACOG MP5. Sure. But come on.
It's tough. And a couple rounds ago, you touched on paiN, looking like they're not really hitting all the basics, the fundamentals. That's a fundamental right there. Pick up your Rook armor in prep phase. Like, you should have your pathing for prep phase down. You know what walls you're reinforcing. You know what walls you're shotgunning or barbed wiring or banditing or where your ADSs go. You know your setup down. At least you should anyway if you're in Pro League. And it seems like paiN are grasping at straws here to try and salvage. I mean, they get a round back. It did not look pretty, that's for sure. It turned into an absolute gong show inside of CCTV, and by the luck of a couple great kills from GCR, they were able to tie it together by their shoestrings and come away with a round. But FaZe still heavy in control in the driver's seat, and it looks like paiN have adorned a strategy now that will slowly chip away at this armory-centric push for FaZe, but it's still not enough, and I'm really concerned that paiN are just losing utility prematurely. This is going to be FK1 again, trying to juggle the Kaids on the wall.
Thank you.
Still got a Thatcher, a Zofia, and Mav with frag grenades. It's going to be a tough road to try and hold out this wall for FK1.
If I'm not mistaken, the Thatcher EMP does not actually hit that far, right? We're going to see it here.
Oh, got it.
It does. There you go.
And he's got no time to put back up, so all it takes is 1 EMP.
Yeah, he doesn't have another one. I don't know. That is something to try. Maybe you can put it at a certain height or a certain position where it doesn't reach it. It's a lot of, you know, a lot of thinking in the back to make it. But FK1 will find the kill on Yuna, the opener that works out. And tries to peek around. Of course, this is the TCSG-12. It's basically a DMR in the form of a shotgun. So much damage done to FK1 and GCR. This is not a great spot to be in. Ion will find a kill on FK1 and finally take out the pot in this situation. There's a C4 downstairs, though, awaiting, and spawns can do a lot of work if set up correctly.
Still have a man in the depths of archives. I believe that's Revolt's waiting for this push in. Spawn's using that cardiac sensor and a nitro cell. That's not going to connect as it detonates wide left of any intended target. The breach charge is coming out from Astro now all over the floor, and GCR, oh no, Revolt goes undroned in the back of archives, and he'll take down Ion. Now pushing down is Mav. He'll trade out Gabrielos, the smoke on site. GCR still on 5 HP inside of offices, awaiting the perfect opportunity to flank, but now paiN have left Spawns alone on the objective. Cameraman taking affirmative action on this to try and convert this into a plant attempt.
Now, 40 seconds on the clock. The drones are coming in here, at least what FaZe can use in this point. Astro will find a kill. It's when they really needed to eliminate GCR, the extra firepower, even though if he was low on HP. Revolt takes a decent chunk of damage there with the pistol and gets finished off by Cameraman. Spawns on his own with no nitro cell. 23 seconds on the clock. It's possible here if he finds the correct kill. Cameraman is low on HP. Spawns will run all the way back to play by the main staircase. He's spotted, and Astro will clean him up. FaZe, another round on the board. Affirmative action. Yeah.
It seems like FaZe just have much more of a direction. Missing the drone there on Revolts was probably one of the few mistakes FaZe have made all game. Yeah. They seem seamless in their abilities to, again, conduct the fundamentals properly. And you know, we talk about, you know, incredible aim on players in Pro League. We talk about incredible teamwork and communication skills. But honestly, if you're just hitting the fundamentals over and over again incredibly efficiently, eventually you're going to start picking up rounds. As soon as you surrender that map control to the attacking team, it's over. Your retakes are impossible, as was shown by everyone holding from kill holes inside of Workshop or the bathroom hallway or passport check.
Yeah, and it was such a weird way to see FaZe going through it, because usually you kind of have to take control of the office before coming down. And in this case, because you know it's such an important part of the defense, you'd figure that the defenders would kind of put a castle barricade. You actually mentioned that in the middle of it. It's like,
no castle barricade.
There's no castle barricade. What are you doing?
One of the most telltale signs of a bathroom teller's hold on border.
Yep. And having that barricade is just something that if it doesn't stop your opponents, it slows them down and it gives you a heads up. Because in that case, you needed it. And it all fell apart at these small things, man. FaZe Clan have enough experience to just find every single angle. And if it means that they just now have to run in and get a kill on you, they'll do it because they know what they're doing. They're one of the best teams in the world for a very good reason. That's it. With no Maestro in play, you'll see the dock being played in here with a bulletproof camera. Will give a lot of insight for FaZe as to what paiN are trying to do. Now, we were talking about this in the pre-show, where Ying, even when she is not banned, she's not usually played in LATAM. But here she is.
Yeah, FK1 going to be picking up the Ying, I imagine, just to try and be that piercing force of a push, as they haven't really been able to, I guess, work on their team play together to facilitate successful gunfights. It's usually been individual efforts from paiN that have been winning them a couple of the gunfights, but FK1 with the Candelas might be able to be the determining factor in paiN actually turning this into a snowball effect. And we hear the telltale signs of the Candelas ring out, but everyone evacuates CCTV, and Yuna will actually grab a pick onto Gabrielos. There goes two of your smokes, your only smokes, now that Ying has no longer access to it. Gabrielos will fall. Another man disadvantage to start a round for paiN. It's not a good look for them, and again, they look ill-prepared to handle FaZe's hold. And a beautiful peel back there. FaZe not taking a single hit point of damage on their retreat.
Yeah, and you see the rotation hole that's been set up by the Mira to play in the back. Now, usually a smoke plays that position with a rotation hole that is more to the bottom, not in a vault position like this. There's many reasons to play this position, but it's really unorthodox, even more than the actual position itself being very unorthodox on its own. Yuna boosting himself up as he goes in for extra fire in the back. Tries to find the head. No, it's GCR to thread it. Yuna will go down, and that's an important operator as well, taken away. Thermite will open up the reinforced wall by the CCTV, but everything is being watched as we speak. Smoke being thrown out at the perfect moment here to stall out paiN on their attack. paiN just have no clue how to move through this just yet. They'll try to push in from the center, but Nav is already watching this, and he already tries to pre-fire things. Ion eating one grenade, the second one as well, but he's still alive. C4 will not hit anyone, but Astra will connect. One player in, one down in the back as well. Astra will find the kill. And FK1 is so far back, he'll do a bit of damage. Doesn't matter much. Diffuser's on the other side, and round number 7 go the way of FaZe. They are on map and match point.
Throughout this entire map, it honestly looks like paiN. If I compare the paiN of this week against FaZe to the paiN of last week against INTZ, obviously different caliber teams there.
Sure.
But the game on Bank, paiN looked like they had a game plan and a directive and a mission. This game on Border, they look lost. And I feel like it's a lack of preparation on a map like Border. I honestly don't think that paiN either game planned for Border or they assumed FaZe was going to ban it, because this has looked like a pure reaction game out of paiN. They don't look like they have any push behind them. They don't like they have any cohesion on a strategy. They don't look like they're communicating either. Like you said, it's a rough look for paiN in comparison to a team that looked like they had a solid game plan. They looked like they had an initiative, and sometimes the execution wasn't there, but the preparation last week on Bank against INTZ looked like it was solid.
One thing I want to highlight from paiN last week, if you guys were not watching, definitely missed out. But they played Bank, right? They went 4 rounds on attack, which is the same thing for INTZ, which is not something you'd be expecting when you say Bank. Sites, though, when you dig deeper and figure out what the sites that were played, you kind of start thinking, okay, I can actually try and mirror this and compare it to Border, because they played a lot of open area. They played sites that are very similar to how Border is in terms of its overall design, right? Look at it deeper. But here, even on the attack, it's just FaZe. I really want to say this at this point. It's just FaZe's experience and players and their pedigree, etc., etc., etc. It's that deciding factor. I mean, it's always good to see an underdog story, an upset here and there, but paiN are just not really able to find the rhythm with FaZe. And defense or attack, when your opponents are dictating the rhythm of the match, that's not a good spot for you to be in, because 1 or 2 rounds just end up turning into a flurry of them, and you just can't recover.
Well, it seems like paiN have altered their attacking strategy as well, as they'll be attacking the Ventilation and Workshop after a successful Armory hold from FaZe. And stacking on the office side this time around, as opposed to all really congregating outside of that Armory wall and not really having any pushing power behind it, being stalled out by 1 mirror and 1 man with some smoky babes. That's all it really took to stall it out. This time, come the thermite charges onto the Armory wall. It'll open up. But again, it'll be a hold from inside of the small office and metal half wall from FaZe that will continue to stall out paiN's push through the Armory wall and grab some top control.
Astra is all boosted up to play in the archives. Spot somebody moving into office, through the window, etc. You see that rotation hold that, you know, we were mentioning in the previous round. The Mira played it in a different way, but oh no, is he going to get this one? Yep, that's a freebie. Spawns putting himself in the line of fire, and the shotgun will be there to dispatch him. Zofia being eliminated just as you... Oh no, how do you lose that? Yuna finds the kill, and Revolts will get eliminated. Yuna, though, still on top of the server. He wants to fight, and if he's going to be solo on HP, it's a pretty good decision as well to put himself in such a position. Astra can't run away in the... Oh, no way he does that. Gets the free kill as well, and FK1, the last, rushing right into him. Gabrielos getting the kill, but Yuna still there. Cameraman rushes up, finds the last kill. 7-1 victory. FaZe Clan absolutely mopping the floor with paiN Gaming.
I think that really is a good demonstration. I think today as a whole is a good demonstration of the difference between maybe a 5th or 6th place team in Latin America and the 7th and 8th place teams.
Yeah, this is when the big dogs really want to start hitting, because they know their spots are at LAN are really being hit. this is when you bring out the big guns.
Well, we just talked about Black Dragons, who weren't in the top 4, and yet just went toe-to-toe with Liquid.
Yeah.
And we're talking about how Red Devils had a brilliant start to the season. Big misstep last week against Black Dragons, getting 7-0'd on club. But the stark contrast between 1 through 6 in LATAM and then 7 and 8. You can see where the drop-off is for INTZ and paiN when they aren't playing each other.
And the problem is we're actually expecting that from Black Dragons. But they surprise everybody. You mentioned it in the match that we saw, the second game of the day.
Yep.
They're underrated. And I want to say they're underrated by Westerners, not as much Brazilians. Because we don't get to see them as much as the Brazilians get to see it.
Yep.
BR6, in DreamHack now with qualifiers. I mean, I tried to watch DreamHack qualifiers. I watched Retalia's stream. I had it on. I was watching the games. But it's just different time zones and preparation for other stuff in Pro League. Yep. There's not enough time for us to kind of go through everything. That's why you'll see us going through statistics a lot of the time. But when you are consistently looking at your region, you know what there is in terms of potential. And Black Dragons definitely have that. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of that. paiN, however, have not learned the lesson just yet. And FaZe really gives them a beating today. I mean, it's not like NIP did anything less than that versus INTZ in game number 1.
No. And again, to me, it looked like paiN just were not prepared for a border game. It looked like they were expecting something different. They get caught with their pants down. They receive a smacking for it, and that's going to give FaZe an easy 3 points and a huge bump in the round differential, which could come in so clutch for the tie breaks. It could be the difference between a land spot and heading to Milan with all of us, or staying at home in the 3rd seed and watching everyone participate.
And it is very, very painful.
It is.
There are a few times where you want to get caught with your pants down, and that game was not one of them. That said, I've been at the doctor's quite a few times this week. But final game of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, Immortals versus Red Devils is coming up in just a bit.